My name is Zeak Dartail, leader of Syndicate X, and I am the man who can defeat Superman, baby! Oh, and you thought that I was gone. No, but today is not the day of a challenge, no! You see, today I'm going to take on a new responsibility just for today. Put on the glasses and I put on the persona, baby. Because it's time for me to take on a review, you see. I picked on something along the way of watching the YouTube trends just come and go and being all sorts of fun and craziness. And, well, there is one trend that is just eluded me for so long. The term woke. Especially when it comes to media. Something about it just never really clicked. And then I went back into the archives of my mind and I watched so many videos of content creators, being sick and tired of woke Hollywood and woke this and woke that, and it awoken something in me, you see. And then it finally hit me. What is the source of woke? What is the original show or the original thing that started this whole entire trend of woke media? There had to be an answer. I had to do some deep dive to find that answer. Because, let's be real here, I finally understood it. The woke is just bad because it's bad. Yes, and it finally just hit me, of course. Of course it's bad because it's bad. But the thing is that I was unable to find the source until now. Which is why you see to the right of me, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the start of it all, the start of the woke agenda, you see. I found it. I found the source, everybody. You can pat me on the back later. You're welcome, by the way. You thought that this whole woke trend was new? That's what they want you to think. No, it goes way back to the 1990s in a little show called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Because if there's any show that's more woke than this, it's this. Yeah, that's what I said, and I'm not taking it back. You see, I had to see several woke videos, or videos complaining about woke, to understand these complaints, to understand these issues, because any form of wokeism is just bad. It doesn't actually matter about the quality. No. That simply won't do, because it's all a matter of it's still infiltrating our media. It's still getting into our skin. It's still infecting us. So I'm here to dig in, as it were, balls deep, as it were, to find that answer. You're welcome, Internet. So yes, the answer is here. It starts here, with Buffy the Vampire Slayer being the wokest show of all time, because it's the inception of wokeism in Hollywood. You see, it all starts out with the lead character being a woman. And not just a woman, by the way. A woman who takes charge and kicks ass. Can you believe that? Ugh, disgusting. How dare these shows have women just dominate and be fearless and have no actual, flaw about them, or just win the day every opportunity. They just get everything handed to them. And where do you think that all stems from? Well, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, of course. And I'm just gonna have to say, believe it. Don't, I'm too scared to play any clips, but you just believe me, bro. Just believe me, okay? I got you. I got you when I say Buffy the Vampire Slayer is the wokest show of all time, because we've seen what has stemmed from this. We got movies like Mulan with, just cheap, lazy things that are happening, and it's live action. It's following, it's following this flawless female character. Well, it stems from all the way back here. This is the first instance of wokeism, but you see, that was the trick, is that they wanted to plant the seed, so they didn't try too hard with the flawlessness quite yet. They made the character a little bit flawed, but not too flawed. So you'd be like, that's suspicious, but not too suspicious. But that didn't fool me, because I saw what no one else has been able to see for all this time, is that it was indeed planting this nefarious, devilish seed of wokeness, of a leader, of this altitude and ability to take charge and change the landscape of everything you would come to know about shows in general from this point moving forward. I mean, again, just look at where we are now. It all stems back from this. But if you think that it can't get worse, oh no. It gets so much worse, you guys. Trust me, bro, no sources even required. You just gotta believe the words that are coming out of my mouth, you see. So, how, you ask, does it get worse? Well, it does. You see, because one of Buffy's very bestest ever companions is none other than Willow the Witch, because of course it's a witch, and witches used to be demonic, but not only is she a witch, but of course it's the opening of the LGBT plus agenda, the gay agenda, even though she's a lesbian. So the lesbian agenda, even though apparently that according to some religious sources, apparently it's only a sin to be gay, I guess, so it's technically not a sin if you're a lesbian, I think. I've never actually read the Bible, so I'm not sure how that really works out, because apparently it only refers to gays, but not lesbians. But still, you get the picture. You know what you're picking up what I'm putting down, right? Everybody, you're following this? And look, another female character. How about that for sus behavior? Ugh. And she is indeed a lesbian, but she gets into a relationship with a man at one point, but so it's even worse because she's potentially bisexual, which is apparently the worst sexuality to be in television history, in any media. I would know. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You can't see me wink behind the glasses. Just believe that I am, okay? So yes, she indeed infringes upon the lesbian agenda. And trust me, I don't know what the actual agenda is. I just know that every person that says this stuff is just supposed to say it to sound threatening. That's what it's all here for. But hey, it gets worse, because those aren't the only two females here. I don't even remember all the female characters' names because of how old this show is, but there are more female characters than male characters. That's the important part here. A female-led show. Huh. Funny that. That sounds super duper woke. That's a suspicious amount of women in a show. Super duper diverse, if you will. And yeah, it all stems here. It all started here. Back all the way in 1991. No clips required. You just gotta believe the context that I'm providing to you. And you know how I know that this show is super duper woke and is ruining everything that has come after? Is that this show is based off of a comic book. Yeah, that's right. I know that much. So just trust me, bro, resources of it's based off of a comic book. And that's the thing, is that they're trying to ruin comic books, as we all know. You see, by showing and putting into these comic books this same wokeness that we're seeing everywhere else. It's not like wokeness is just a replacement word at this point for diversity. No. It's something way more complex, more nefarious, you see. Just believe me, Bo. Don't look into it. You just gotta believe. Anyway, so yeah. This show isn't even original. Ugh, disgusting. You see what I mean? I mean, think about it. What show is actually original? You know, not that anyone who ever asked for the original new content actually, reviews anything new. I've never seen any conservative ever do that except for me. I'm the only damn one who's ever went out of their way to review something that was new by a small creator. Trust me, I did it for my own book too. So you know I'm good. I'm one of the good ones, you see. So it's based on a comic book. And you see the little pins and needles they start to put in place here. All the way back again in the 1990s. So I'm sick and tired of everyone lying about saying that this is a new phenomenon. No. That is the big lie. I know the truth. It all again stems back to here. With a butt-kicking vampire slayer. And it went on for a while, too. Just uncontested. In fact, it grew a fan base. Ugh, this is disgusting. How could people just watch this show? It's not like it had a catchy theme or anything initially, even. No. It's not like the characters ever got any more, more interesting as things developed. No, that's not it. They tricked you, you see. They tricked you by making you believe that these characters are changing, but the truth of the matter is that they were just looping back to their primary state. You see, Buffy was always the kick-ass vampire slayer. It's not like she needed help from time to time. It's not like other characters helped her along the way. Trust me, bro, don't look up the show. You just gotta believe the words that are coming out of my mouth right now. So yeah, it's very crystal clear what is happening here. Again, this is the beginning of the end, as it were. This is where everything began to go wrong. And it's not like, again, anything else was happening. It's not like there were other shows that were, breaking this whole trend. It's not like other shows primarily sourced for and had females at the center of it existed. It's not like I can name another show without changing the poster, because I'm too lazy to change the poster, but I can talk about a completely different show in one video with one fell swoop, and you just gotta believe what all the resources laying out for you are all just a part of the agenda. You see, there was another show that was just so closely aligned that it was on a completely different network, but they're threads somewhere. I'm pretty sure they're connected somehow. And that show was the Powerpuff Girls. Oh yes, we're going to a completely different subject matter here. You see, the Powerpuff Girls, that was a trick, even by its very title. You see, they tricked you by using very powerful gendered words, you see. They use the word power to indicate that's the masculine power. See, that's a gendered word. You assume that means man, manly men, doing manly things. But then you get the next word and you go, wait, what? You go, puff. Huh? That sounds a very feminine word. Wait a minute. And girls, well, obviously, that one should be self-evident. So there's one masculine word preceded by two feminine words, and then all of a sudden, there are probably more boys watching than girls. Odd. Trust me, there are more boys watching than girls. I would know. I ended up falling for this trap card myself, you see. And that's how I knew that this was just another tipping point, another sowing of the seeds of the beginning of this terrible, terrible trend. And, just to believe me when I say there are two genders of that show, and it's not like I could say that both boys and girls watched that show, even though I just admitted that, so it's not like if there were both masculine and feminine qualities within that show, that there could be a separate new term that could be developed that could represent a third conceivable gender. It's not like gender neutrality is a real thing, it's just a theory, bro. Even though that word doesn't really make any sense, because gender isn't a theory, it's a perception. I know that much. But just trust me when I say no, trust me, they're just two genders. That's the way it always was, even when you look at other shows like Pokemon and all that stuff. It's not like both sexes watched both things, and societally that could be construed as something else that made up gender neutrality word that I just threw out there. It's not like that's escaped other conservatives' dictionary to say, there are only two, even though there are three at minimum, and a lot more when you consider just how crazy gender has become these days. Because it all started here. They were planting the early seeds with, relating gender to sex and all of that stuff. And, it was all a part of the plan. They were starting off small, and they did it with the kids, because a lot of kids watched Powerpuff Girls, even though it was action-oriented, even though it seemed like it was supposed to be geared for an older audience. It was reaching a younger audience. Oh my god, am I implicating that even as early as the 1990s, they were grooming our kids? I can use that language too, you see? Because it's true. Even though you can use grooming in the positive context, you can groom a kid to be a successful student, as it were. Oops. But that's not the way I'm using the word. I'm clearly indicating the negative context. The negative that has been seeping into our woke media for eons, for decades, for millennia. You see, it's actually been going on that long. Even though television hasn't been around for millennia. But you catch my drift. You trust me, bro. Yeah, I don't need the resources. You just gotta believe and pick up what I'm putting down. You dig? You dig? I dig, okay? So yeah, it's not just Buffy the Vampire Slayer, even though that's one of the more clearer examples of the woke agenda just seeping into our media, and it's based off of a comic book that's also clearly woke. I mean, come on. The men in that show are just there to be hot for, the ladies to oogle at, and, if men, if they swing that way, then sure, I guess. But hey, it's not like they had a gay relationship. No, they had a lesbian relationship. Because, lesbianism was a lot hotter to, just depict on the media. It wasn't as seen as disgusting. It wasn't seen as bad, as terrible, but it was still sowing the seeds of the woke agenda. It allowed for more content of this ilk to be made, and it all started here. And we needed to point it out at this point. We needed to say, hey, it all actually started way back when. How about that for crazy? But hey, it's not like I can name even more shows that, just absolutely destroyed us. Absolutely just slithered our expectations away of what we expect to see from television shows and all of that good stuff. No. You see, I only needed the 2. Yep, that's right. You're not getting that comfortable feeling of an even 3, even though that sounds like it should be the number, the miracle number, like it sells the triangle trade, It just really pictures that perfect little button for you. Now, I only need the 2. As in the 2. Because that's the 2 that started it all. And it's crazy to think that we've managed to just squander and get even worse. Worse and worse and worse. It's not like anyone actually reviews, again, any of the new stuff. It's not like anybody has ever, beyond me, reviewed Syndicate X, even though people ask for a new thing all the time, and when a new thing comes out, again, nobody reviews it, so they're all worried about what's come before. So, I guess the point is to say, it's odd, isn't it? When I reveal this video's release date, and obviously, a bit of a April Fool's, as it were. But, in all seriousness, to put all the April Fools aside, obviously, my name is Mustached Tom, also known as Thomas Wasilla Jr., aka Mustached Tom. To put on the actual, talking about real stuff is, it is a lot more obviously complex than that. But I thought it'd be a really fun experience to go over, and I love explaining the trick, you see, of just showing, because I have seen a lot of reviews from certain conservatives about certain shows, about like, oh, how woke the, television has gotten, and I really wanted to poke fun at it for once, because it's so easy. Obviously, shows are going to lean towards more naturally progressive sides as we progress in a way that is more accepting, and certain people definitely hate that concept. So I wanted to poke fun at that, saying like, oh, it actually started way back when, with something like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which again is a show that I actually did watch a while back, but I thought it'd be really funny to be like, oh, I don't need any resources, just keep trusting what I'm saying, because a lot of the times what I see is people do run clips from shows, but they only run the clip that, shows the the evil part, the thing that you're supposed to laugh at, the cringe part, but they don't show any of the context of the episode, so I thought it'd be way funnier to just be like, just keep saying, just buy what I'm putting down, just believe me, bro, keep saying that over and over again. And the Powerpuff thing wasn't even originally a part of this, but I just thought of it as I was recording this very video. So this is one of these unscripted videos, if you couldn't tell. So yeah, I think that, the complexity of, how far media has come is definitely a complex, thing. Obviously, I'm on the complete opposite side of that spectrum, as it were, where I keep saying we need better. When we do get representation in something, I say, we need to get better at it. And it's so funny, and it's actually so bizarre, because, outside of the April Fool's joke, I actually do think that the representation in this show is actually one of the higher end shows for diversity, for LGBT plus Q representation, for all of that stuff. And this show came out again in the early 1990s, so I think it's so bizarre that I actually think we fell a little bit backwards when it comes to this whole this whole woke thing, as certain reviewers like to put it. I think we actually have gotten somewhat less of it. And when we do get it, it's for the most part inoffensive. Like, it's not really pushing any boundaries that I'm like going like, you're really making a big deal out of like a children's show showing a young character like dressing, like if it's a boy dressing like femininely. Notice that I did not say like a girl, I said femininely. So yeah, I think that they have this weird, bizarre, like, and I knew I had to use groomer in some sort of context and really dig at that too, because they love to use that word from time to time in their videos as well. And again, I thought it would be really funny throughout to me to describe what the words actually mean. And obviously, groomer has a neutral context, actually, based on its definition, and obviously there is a way more negative context, but again, in the video I pointed out that it could be used in a positive context, so I just thought it'd be funny to point that out as well. And, it's so challenging, I will say, as someone who's written their own work, and someone who's written their own new work, and seeing how hard it is to reach this sort of level of fame and acceptance and, worldwide acclaim like shows like this, that there really isn't anyone out there, as far as I know, that, again, maybe I'm not looking hard enough, or maybe YouTube's algorithms aren't like showing me content creators who specifically go out of their way to like, review something that's actually new, like something that's not inspired from something that's not like a video game adaptation, something that's legit just new. Like, I legit don't know of a YouTuber that off the top of my head I can think of that does that, to my knowledge. And again, I think that's just a symptom of this whole ordeal, is that we aren't actually looking for new content a lot of the time, and I think that that's actually why we see more people in these circumstances, choosing to pick media that has already been, used before and redoing it is because no one's actually taking the time to find the new stuff and saying, hey, that's a new thing. And you know what? That new thing was actually really good. Again, I don't see a lot of reviewers in today's age actually doing that. And again, I could be wrong on that part, but again, I haven't found that content creator. At least I don't think I have. Maybe I have, and I just didn't spot the very video that they did on a new thing that's, again, based on something entirely new. Something that is, again, just the essence of, like, this is a new thing. Like Syndicate X still very much is to me, and to the world pretty much even more so, since, not a lot of people, or virtually nobody knows what it is outside of a handful of people I've shown it to. Outside of that, I would say what I would love to be able to do is if I had a better computer and a better microphone and had a bit more skill in animation, is I would love to make a new show on YouTube. Like, legitimately. This is that a part of the April Fool's joke. Obviously, when the glasses dropped, that's when the April Fool's stopped. Of the video stopped. But to be legit here, like, I have dreamed for so freaking long to start a new series. An animated series is something I've really wanted to do for a long time. And just based on the current landscape, I think I would probably want to share this on YouTube, but I just don't have the technology. I just don't have the computer wherewithal. I record on a laptop with a shitty $12 mic. So, it's really challenging for an independent creator so small such as myself to, say, like, I have these massive ideas in my head about all of these shows and ideas that I've just wanted to get out there and have so little in concept of being able to draw, so very little in being able to animate as well. So that would be the biggest hurdle, but obviously the bigger hurdle in front of that hurdle is the money, or the lack thereof. And, when you don't have a lot of resources and you don't have a secure job and you don't have the big channel with people, tons of people supporting you when I only have the one currently, it feels impossible to reach these goals. It feels impossible to buy a new computer. It feels impossible to buy a new microphone. It feels impossible to even learn these new art skills that would help me develop this show, or these shows plural, that I've been wanting to do for so long. Probably ever since I was a kid, I wanted to make a video game, and that's only transformed into, well, I just want to make a show or something. I still want to make a video game to this day. My expectations of that are virtually zero, because I've become a pessimist on that regard of, my level of success. But if you enjoyed this little April Fool's joke video, then please feel free to like it, to comment on it, to be like, hi, you got me, or I don't know, something like that. I don't know. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you liked it. Please also look at the description. The first, as always, will head you over to my petition to help out smaller YouTubers. If you don't know, in all seriousness, I had a petition set up for a while now to help smaller YouTubers get a new tab that exclusively features smaller content creators. I don't think there's virtually any other YouTube content creator out there that's pushing this except for me, because I actually am one of the very few content creators that actually cares about other smaller content creators, whereas other people just say it and then move on, which I think is absolute bullshit. So yeah, I'm calling out every other bigger YouTuber who's ever said that they've helped a smaller YouTuber out. Absolutely. I've never stopped myself from doing that. There's my Patreon and PayPal where you can help support me and my channel directly. PayPal is I have a little bit more faith in PayPal currently than Patreon. So if you can head over to my PayPal, you can also link up with me on my Discord to if you want to join that in support of me, and if any of the stuff that has reached you and you've gotten this far in the video, then please feel free to join that cause, because again, that money that you guys are going to support is going to be directly for that stuff. It's going to be for a new computer, new mic, the whole 9 yards is what I'm aiming for now at this point. And with all that out of the way, also, again, there's a Discord server you can join. You can share your own content, you can collab potentially there, all for free. And until next time, everybody, happy April Fools.